That's odd because I'm broadcasting. It says I'm broadcasting on my thing. That's odd because I'm broadcasting. There we go, I got the email. Yay. Hello there, everyone. It is the DUG here and Johnny Be Good. Say hello, Johnny.
I exist, apparently.
After some technical issues, because unfortunately we have WCW 2000 equipment. Well, if you really want to be nice, we had the Miami Dolphins video equipment. Before we get into week 4 and we discuss our awards for best and worst of week 3, I went 11-5. Johnny, you said you went 8-8, so you split this week.
Yeah, I blame the Bills. I blame the Ravens.
You blame the Bills and Ravens. I told you you should have picked the Bills, and I told you I picked Kansas City for a reason. For the season,
I had no choice.
I know you didn't have a choice. I understand what the Ravens won, but the Bills you could have. It's the Bengals. Come on.
But yeah, I put my faith in the AFC North division rival. This is what I get.
All right, and for the season, I am 30 in wins, 17 in losses, and I have that one stupid tie because the Lions and Arizona can't finish a game in week 1.
Ironically enough, I'm only 28, 19-1, so I'm not that far off.
You're not that far behind. By the way, I still find it Detroit is technically still undefeated. Just as a quick recap for anyone who did miss the games this week. Hey, Moth. The Titans lost to the Jaguars, making me 0-3 on Thursday night. God help the Packers and Eagles when we get to that one. Cowboys beat the Dolphins. Bills beat the Bengals. Packers beat the Broncos. Falcons lost to the Colts. Chiefs beat the Ravens. The Vikings obliterated the Raiders. The Pats obliterated the Jets. The Lions got the upset of the week over the Eagles because the Eagles wide receivers couldn't catch. Cardinals lost to the Panthers. The Bucks defense, which we're going to get to them later, lost to the Giants. The Texans beat the Chargers. The 49ers made the Steelers cry even more than usual. The Seahawks lost to Teddy Bridgewater and the Saints. The Rams did their job on Sunday against the Browns. And then, of course, last night, that game was ugly. The Bears dominated that entire game for the Redskins. All right. Winners and losers. Choke artist of the week. I am giving that to Tampa Bay because they had the game won. The defense just had to do its job for a minute, and they choked it away.
I couldn't watch any Sunday games because my cable and internet got shut off on Sunday.
Okay.
Got booted on Monday, so excuse me if I can't really
Oh, that's understandable. And, God knows I
know what happens. I know what happened in every game. I just didn't understand the flow of some games, like I did a couple of weeks ago.
That's understandable. Yeah, Tampa Bay had the game, was leading that whole game, but then they choked it. Pittsburgh also choked it, but Pittsburgh's a terrible team, so you don't expect them. You don't expect them to hold on to a win. Tampa Bay should have held on, in my opinion. I will say though, with that being said, the worst team of week 3, I'm going to Washington. Yes, I know everyone's going to be like, "But Doug, Dolphins only scored 6 points." That is true, but the Dolphins are terrible. The Redskins, I would like to point out, they looked competent on offense the first 2 weeks. Not last night. They got obliterated. They were destroyed by Chicago's defense. Case Keenum turned over the ball 5 times. Oh, by the way, Coach Gruden is not going to be benching Keenum. They're leaving the rookie on the bench. Adrian Peterson's not happy because he wants to be playing, but they're not using him. You know, he's healthy. He's actually leading the team in rushing yards, if you believe that. Hey, Fine Ninja, yes, I know, no, but so I'll be back to normal schedule of videos and everything next week, to a degree, and I'll explain why later. The best team who won in week 3, or at least the team who should have lost but won somehow, the Bills, because Andy Dalton was playing well, but the Bengals choked it. Best win of teams of week 3 goes to the Packers for pretty much doing their job. Shocking win goes to the Colts because the Colts are actually winning games without Andrew Luck. By the way, my fantasy teams went 1-2 this week, so not good there. And if you got Cam Newton, he will not be playing again this week. He is out. So if you have Cam Newton on your fantasy league, remember to not play him. And there are 2 teams with a bye this week, the Jets and the 49ers. 49ers are undefeated right now. The Jets need it because, well, they suck. So with that covered and out of the way, let's get to the games of this week. Thursday night it is the Packers at home against the Eagles. Philly's not looking good right now, are they, Johnny?
No, let's just...
The Eagles have been making mistakes left and right. After beating the Redskins, they've lost to Atlanta, and then they got lost to the Lions. Green Bay is undefeated, but it's the defense making the noise and not the offense. I know I have not won a Thursday night game yet, but I think I might finally win one. I am taking the Packers at home.
I don't think anybody's won a Thursday night game yet. I'm pretty sure by this point. I'm going to take the Packers as well.
Alright, you're going to Packers as well. Up next, we head to Atlanta, the Dirty South, as the Blackbirds of the Falcons take on the Titans. Both teams kind of reeling after heartbreaking losses. Matty Ice has not been playing well in the red zone. The Titans have not looked well when they should have looked well. Fine Ninja, I know you're on, but I know you don't like football, so that's why we're not inviting you yet, okay? After the football stream, you will get to... Johnny will invite you, okay? Unless Johnny wants to do it now. I am taking the Falcons here. I don't trust Tennessee. Granted, I don't trust Atlanta either. This was one of the harder games for me to pick, and I pretty much just went eeny, meeny, miny, mo, the Larry Curry and Murray's strategy of picking.
This is a weird case for me. I kind of picked this as my upset pick of the game. Upset pick of the week. I'm going Titans to beat the Falcons on the road. I trust Tennessee a lot more. They're coming off a Thursday night game. I think they'll have a little bit more rest.
That is true. So we actually disagree. Let's see if that continues. Up next, the Washington Redskins, who can't win a game, can't play any football, take on the Giants, who have new life after starting their rookie quarterback. Do I really need to say who I'm picking here? I'm picking the Giants. I would honestly say the Redskins and Miami are battling for who's the worst team in the NFL at this point. And I'm going to take the Giants. I think the Giants, I know they don't have the running back. He's out 4 to 8 weeks with a high ankle sprain, but it's the Redskins. You should be fine. I'm hoping for Adrian Peterson's sake, though, he gets traded so he can actually be used on the field this year.
Honestly, I think this is where Washington gets their first win finally. I mean, I think they played a lot more competent teams. The Giants are really not, in my opinion. I feel like Casey Keenum finally have a decent game against the awful.
I would like to point out again, Case Keenum turned over the ball 5 times last night. I don't trust him, and remember the leading rusher was Adrian Peterson for the Skins, and they're not even using him. That's disturbing. But that's 2 games to disagree. Up next, probably my luck of the week, and probably you're going to agree with me here. It's the Chargers going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I got the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers. Do we really have to say anything? I mean, this is a trap game for the Chargers, as much as people could say. But they could choke away the game because they haven't been looking pretty good weeks.
I will agree there. And before we get to the Colts and Raiders game, remember, children, this video is brought to you by PlayStation. Don't forget next month's free games on the PlayStation Store for October is The Last of Us Remastered, Boo, and that will be the Show 19 because it's almost Major League Baseball playoff time. Yay, baseball! I can get my ass kicked by Johnny. Heading to Indianapolis now. It is the Colts who are surprisingly doing well without Andrew Luck taking on the Raiders, who, after the Raiders' first win against the Broncos, which I said was a fluke, Raiders haven't played well since.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts too.
I'm taking the Colts too. I've finally seen the light. I'm going to take Indianapolis.
Not watching the Raiders win just
because of us, yeah. Up next, we head to Houston as the Panthers, who will be without Cam Newton, but they won without Cam Newton this past week. They ran the ball a lot down Arizona's throat as they take on the Texans, who kind of escaped against San Diego. I just think the Texans, though, are a better team, better offensively, better defense. Panthers benefited from playing a bad team in Arizona. Texans win.
Texans win.
Alright, and then we head to Detroit as the undefeated Lions take on the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Good news, Lions. You're in a division that's actually competitive, so you still might win the division if you lose a few games ahead. With that being said, you are playing Kansas City, who's got a great defense. The offense is way better. I'm taking Kansas City here.
Yeah. I'm taking KC.
So we agree again. Okay, next, and I believe this game is in... For some reason, this game said it was airing at 9 a.m. on Sunday. It is the Cleveland Browns taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Browns coming off a heartbreaking loss on Sunday night to the Rams, and the Ravens, unfortunately, are coming off a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, which, if everybody would have just listened to me instead of just hating on me, because, I think some people would have...
Anti-Ravens talk, boo.
Yeah, I know. Brad was mad at me about that, too.
I wasn't mad. I knew what was going to happen.
Okay, I don't know why. I think that might have been just Sunday ticket than being silly. I'm taking the Ravens here, though. As much as I've been on the Cleveland bandwagon, Cleveland's kind of been disappointing. I don't know what's going on. They seem different from what they were at the end of last year. But I'm taking Baltimore at home. By the way, Baltimore is favored by 7 points at the moment.
Yeah, I think Cleveland's just been really cocky as of late. Their coaching has been horrible over the past, especially last night. A draw in the fourth and 8, I think. Why?
It's crazy. And before we get to the next pick, just to let everyone know, the two highest points favorites right now, the Chargers, they are favored by 16.5 points over the Dolphins, and the Rams are favored over the Buccaneers by 10. Moving on, though, we have both teams are undefeated, which one's not a surprise. It is the Patriots at Buffalo now. This is an interesting matchup. Probably the best 1 o'clock game. You have the Bills, who defensively, you could say, make an argument, they're better. And my issue with this game, and I had a hard time picking it, both teams undefeated, but if you look at who they played, the Patriots have had a cupcake schedule to open with. The Steelers, who are terrible, the Dolphins, who... Let's be honest, I think Johnny, you, me, and Fine Ninja could beat the Dolphins. And the Jets, who were pretty much injured or even beat up. Now, I know everyone's like, well, duh, your Cowboys haven't played anyone good either. And I admit that. They have not played a strong schedule. But if we're going to be honest here, the Patriots, the Cowboys, and the 49ers are probably the 3 teams who have not played anyone tough yet. So this is the Patriots' first tough game. But with that being said, I am taking the Patriots just because of the fact of I don't trust the Bills' quarterback.
I swear to God, if the Bills somehow win this game, can we... I'm taking the Patriots.
If the Bills win this game, I think I'm going to die of heart failure. Moving on, we have the Buccaneers traveling to Los Angeles, take on the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. Sorry, Tampa Bay, after that choke job you did against the Giants, I can't have faith in you to even be competitive. Rams win.
Yeah, lock of the week. I'm taking the Rams over the Bucs.
Fair enough. Up next, Seattle, who lost to the backup, Teddy Bridgewater and the Saints, take on Arizona, who's not found a victory yet. Unfortunately for the Cardinals, that will continue. I think Seattle's going to bounce back. Arizona's still young, still rebuilding. No one really expects them to win too many games. Because they can't even keep a game close, unfortunately. The one time they did, it ended in a tie. Next, probably the best late game match. It is the Vikings against Chicago. Both teams' defenses are playing great. Offensively, both teams have issues. The question is, who do you trust more? The Vikings' Kirk Cousins or the Bears' quarterback? I think Chicago has the better defense, but it's not by much. I am taking Minnesota and Kirk Cousins to beat Chicago in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Vikings. Chicago literally that's a fluke game in my opinion. They played the Redskins, which looked shit against them.
Yeah, because that game was what, 28 that game was because I was watching the game on my phone and it was like 28-3. I was like, dear Lord.
Shit, I was in the park. Shit, I didn't even watch that game.
I was making jokes all night saying, man, my mom can play for the Redskins. Man, my stepdad could be the quarterback for the Redskins. He would do a better job at this point. And it got to the point where I was quoting Demolition Man that Chicago Bears need to be arrested for committing a murder, death, kill. And if you don't know what that line, never heard of Demolition Man, your parents have failed you. Moving on to the last 425 game, it is Jacksonville, who's coming off a win against Tennessee, taking on the winless Denver Broncos. Broncos have been so close on the taste of a victory, but something always goes wrong in the end. Either the offense messes up, or the defense messes up, or something. But, and this is my upset pick, I am taking the Broncos to win this game.
That's an interesting one.
I know a few weeks ago that did not help me because this is the second time I believe I've picked Denver in the upset pick. It didn't work for me then. I'm hoping it works for me now because it's in Denver. That defense is good. I'm hoping Joe Falco finally gets it together and shows up like the Super Bowl quarterback he is, or was. But I'm taking Denver here.
Gardner Minshew is the god of Jacksonville basically right now.
Yeah, he is. I've seen the pictures. Everyone has fallen in love with the Jacksonville rookie quarterback. I think mostly because he has a porno mustache. That's really the only reason. Alright, to the Sunday game, we have my Cowboys taking on the New Orleans Saints. Now, this is a trap game for Dallas once again. Yes, I know the Saints don't have Drew Brees, which you would think that's an easy win for the Cowboys, but Teddy Bridgewater has shown he is not a one-hit wonder. Remember, he played well in Minnesota before the injury. The Cowboys need to be careful here. We got lucky against Miami because I know Dak did not have statistically a great game, but our running game had a great game. But if we can keep playing the way we've been playing, have the defense step up big, we should be able to win this one. It is in New Orleans, but I'm taking my Cowboys anyway.
I'm actually going to take the Saints here.
So you're going with
if I get this game,
Teddy Bridgewater, huh?
Yeah.
Trust me, if you get this game right, I'm probably not going to hear the end of it. I know I'm not going to hear the end of it from a lot of the Redskin fans, which I'm just going to say this, and this goes to you, Corey, and all the other Redskin fans on Facebook. You want to say Dallas hasn't beat anybody, we beat you. Last time I looked, we're 3-0. The other teams in the division either have one win or less. So to you Eagle fans, Giants fans, and Redskin fans, and to either you pass us in the record or you beat us, sit down, shut up, and suck on a pacifier, okay? Moving on to the Monday night game, and like I said, if you're just tuning in, the Jets and Niners have a bye. That's why there's only 15 games this week. It is the winless Pittsburgh Steelers at home as they take on WKRP Cincinnati as the Bengals come into town. Johnny, who gets the first win, or is there a chance this game ends in a tie?
This is such a shitty game. This is a tank ball.
I'm gonna say this. This game is so bad. I'm tempted to watch a Baron Corbin match or listen to a Roman Reigns promo or Bill Goldberg promo. That's how bad this game is. I'm willing to sit through something worse that's terrible in wrestling over this match.
I'm just gonna go Pittsburgh just because at least they looked competent.
Yeah. I'm picking Pittsburgh as well. They looked competent. They actually played like a team. They actually looked like they were trying to win, unlike Cincinnati, who fell asleep that first half against the Bills. And yeah, I know everyone's going like, the Bengals woke up in the second half. Yeah. Unfortunately, it should have been the first half, or the first quarter.
No, 17 points in the second half. No, to the Bills of all teams. No, they're Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the Steelers as well. And those are our pick, guys. Tune in next week for NFL Week 5. And Johnny, I wish you luck in the picks that we agreed on. But to the picks that we disagreed on, I hope you lose them. But until then, have a good night. Yeah.